Ladies and gentlemen, break out your brooms because in yesterday's video, we went 4-0 for the sweep. If you tailed any of the picks from yesterday, there's a good chance that you left with some profits. My name's CJ Curry, and in today's video, I'll be back on the PrizePicks board looking for 3 early value plays, just like we did in yesterday's video. So if you're new here, guys, I so strongly recommend that you hit the subscribe button. Go ahead and turn on all notifications and hit that thumbs up for me, especially if you tailed yesterday's picks. Guys, the channel is growing rapidly. We're at 11,800 plus subscribers, and I want you to be a part of this. I'm doing free picks each and every day right here on this YouTube channel. Now, like I said, yesterday's video went crazy, guys. We did a really good job of identifying some early value. All of these picks ended up getting bumped. We had Zion Williamson going over 4.5 assists. Obviously, he cleared that. Even if you took him over 5 assists, you ended up cashing out. We had Buddy Hield under 7.5 rebounds and assists. I know this one didn't last long on the PrizePicks board. PrizePicks ended up pulling this down, but hopefully you've got other apps installed and you were able to swing over to Underdog or Sleeper or one of these other sites and take Buddy Hield under 7.5 rebounds and assists. Like I said yesterday in that video, that line was just completely too high. We had Jonas Valanciunas going over 10.5 rebounds and assists. By the time this game tipped off, it was at 11.5 rebounds and assists. And the same was true for Daniel Gafford, who started out at 16.5 points and rebounds and got bumped all the way up to 17.5 points and rebounds. So we had ourselves a really good night yesterday. Very good day on the video yesterday. So guys, I implore you, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you turn those notifications on and hit the like button because, like I said, I'm dropping videos each and every day, and I want you to be a part of what we're doing here. Thanks for being a part of the community. Speaking of the community, I'm doing a special thing. Since we swept yesterday's picks, we went 4-0 on those picks. I want to hook you guys up. I want to give you guys an opportunity to join the Dub Club. I know you guys have heard me talk about it in previous videos. What it is basically a community of like-minded individuals. We're playing on PrizePicks. We're playing on some of these other sites. It's all about player props and sports betting, okay? So if you're a sports fan, you're betting on sports, join the Dub Club. It's only 67 cents per month typically, or per day typically, $20 per month typically, but I'm gonna run a special for you guys right now. I wanna run a Dub Club special. I'm gonna do 3 months. 3 months for what the price of 2 months would be. So you'll get 3 months for only $40. Typically 3 months is gonna cost you $60, but I'm gonna go ahead and run this limited time offer. There's only 50 spots up for grabs. So be one of the first 50 people. There'll be a link that I'll pin to the comment section of this video. Get 3 months of Dub Club for the price of 2. Okay, so 3 months for $40 to celebrate yesterday's 4-0 sweep in the video. I'm posting winning picks each and every day. I'm trying to help you guys win more, just like I do here on YouTube. But I go even further with Dub Club and Discord. So join the Eyes on the Prize Discord, join the Dub Club, and get started today. All right, enough yapping. Enough yapping. Let's get to today's picks. And if you're not playing on PrizePicks, guys, it's a great time for you to get started. Go ahead and make your first deposit. Use code Curry. Deposit up to $100. They're going to match you dollar for dollar. All right, making your first entry on PrizePicks completely risk-free. I've left a link for you down in the description of today's video. Links for everything, in fact, are down in the description of today's video. Taking a look at today's picks. Like I said, I got 3 of them for you. There wasn't a ton of early value like we were able to identify yesterday, but I think we did get in on some of these picks before they'll get bumped up. Like I could see a Fox getting bumped at some point, a Capela getting bumped potentially or removed altogether, and possibly this last one, Jakob Poeltl of the Toronto Raptors. So let's start with the first one. De'Aaron Fox of the Sacramento Kings, 5.5 assists. I went ahead and I've looked this up on the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Guys, if you're not using this tool right here is why a lot of picks get bumped and removed on PrizePicks. If you see stuff getting bumped up and bumped down or taken down from the PrizePicks board, it's probably because of the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. I highly recommend it if you're playing on PrizePicks. I've left a link down in the description. Like I said, get started, use this tool, use my special link, use my code Curry, and take it for a spin. I don't think you will have any regrets with this tool. But anyway, De'Aaron Fox is a plus EV play. What does that mean? He's a positive expected value play. So what this tool does, it goes out and looks at all the different sports books out there. It scans it. It looks to see, are people betting the over? Are they betting the under? Which way is the juice flowing? And in this case, it's identified De'Aaron Fox at 5.5 assists as a plus EV play to go over, meaning he's got a 54.17% chance of getting 6 or more assists versus the Golden State Warriors. So it's not a 100% chance. It's a 54.17% chance. Keep that in mind. There's always the potential for any of these picks to fail. Nothing's guaranteed. It's very much gambling, but we're going to try and do our best to look at this a little bit further. So let's go over to Prop.Cash real quick. Prop.Cash, you guys see me use this in previous videos. All these lovely green and red bar charts and information and data and everything can be found on Props.Cash. Again, you could save 25% off. Use code Curry, link down in the description. But take a look at this here. You got a 10-game game log here for De'Aaron Fox. He's only played 10 games. He was a little bit injured to start the season, but he's been okay over the last few games. Take a look at his hit rate, though. 6 for 10, a 60% hit rate. So we're looking at the over here on 5.5 assists. He's averaging about 6 assists per game, so not a crazy high assist per game average versus his line of 5.5. But I want to show you something because we've got a lot of historical game logs. De'Aaron Fox versus the Golden State Warriors from last season. They haven't played yet this season, or I take that back. They did play once, but it was earlier on in the year. Anyway, just looking at all the games this season and last season combined, you can kind of see the head-to-head matchup here. He averages 7.5 assists per game, 8 out of 11, 73% hit rate going up against the Golden State Warriors. So he does a pretty good job typically of reaching, around that 6 or more assist mark. There's only been a couple of games over the last 2 seasons where he has not hit 6 or better assists. So it's looking pretty good here, pretty consistent, not the most consistent in the world, but 60% or better in terms of hit rate for the season is not too shabby. When we take a look at the matchup here, we'll go over to this DVP chart. We'll take a look at how many assists per game that the Golden State Warriors are giving up to opposing point guards. Here's where things kind of sweeten up a little bit. Over the last 7 games, Golden State's giving up over 10.5 assists per game to opposing PGs. That's point guards, which is the 6th highest assist per game average in that 7-game span. So is the matchup good? Yeah, it's a plus EV play. The matchup is good, pretty decent hit rates overall. So let's check out some projections. I like to use projection models to see what these projections could see this player doing in a given night. So in this case, we're going to take a look at one, and this is provided by RotoWire. RotoWire typically got to pay for this stuff, guys, but because I've already paid for it, I'm giving you a sneak preview at some of these projections here for De'Aaron Fox, and they've got him projected all the way up at 6.6 assists on a line of 5.5 assists. So that's a 1.1 assist difference, which is good if you're thinking about taking the over on De'Aaron Fox. I've got another projection for you too. Now this one's going to be brought to you by Betting Pros. Now Betting Pros is free. They've got a lot of free features, free tools, and one of the tools is their projections, and they've got De'Aaron Fox projected all the way up at 6.8 assists. The line's 5.5. So again, a 1.3 assist difference projection versus where his line is at. Another site that I like to use is FTN. Yeah, my toolkit is quite deep. I've got a lot of tools in my toolkit. They've got a 54.6% win percentage here for De'Aaron Fox going over 5.5 times. So we got 3 different sources, 3 different projection models. They all say we should be taking the over, at least thinking or considering about taking the over on De'Aaron Fox at 5.5 assists. So for me, it would be a more play. If for some reason you feel differently, please don't let me twist your arm. I'm not trying to force you to do anything that you don't want to do. It's your money. Please bet responsibly. But if you feel like taking the less, hey, go for it. The next guy I want to talk about is Clint Capela. Now, let me show you guys something about Clint Capela real quick. Now, I love when PrizePicks does this, and I'm not quite sure why they do what they do sometimes, but if you take a look at his points, rebounds, and assists line, it's at 18.5, okay? Points, rebounds, and assists. 3 different statistical categories, right? Easy for me to say. And then you take a look at just his points and rebounds, and they're at 18.52. Now, how could that be? We got points, rebounds, and assists. 3 different lanes, 3 different avenues for him to either go over or under at 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And then we've also got the same number where there's only 2 lanes or 2 avenues for him to go over or under 18.5 points and rebounds. Doesn't make sense, does it? Seems like the points, rebounds, and assists line should be maybe like 1 point higher. So that's why I'm looking at the PRA today for Clint Capela at 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And just to like further fuel this just a little bit further, look at the last like 6 or 7 games, or even just the last 10 games for Clint Capela. My guy's actually been getting 1 assist, sometimes even 2, sometimes even 4 assists. So it's not entirely impossible that Clint Capela finds you 1 assist. I mean, he's done so in 6 of his last 7 games. 7 of his last 9 games, he's found at least 1 assist. So I just want to bring this up. It's kind of weird that they would make the PRA line and the PR line the very same. So anyway, taking a look here at Clint Capela over this last, how many games is this? 16 games this season, 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You see that he's cleared the over here. He's had 19 or more PRA, points, rebounds, and assists in 69% of the 16 games that he's appeared in this season. So 11 for 16, very high hit rate, almost a 70% hit rate. And he's done so in 4 out of his last 5. So those of you who are looking for a more recent sample size, well, you've got it here with Clint Capela. Just kind of taking a look at the matchup here real quick to give you guys as much information about this pick as possible. He is going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. One thing that I could tell you is that Cleveland over the last 7 games has been oozing points. You like that word? Oozing points to the center position. In fact, they're giving up over 27 points per game to opposing centers, which is the 6th most points per game in that span, which is why I like the PRA maybe just a little bit more than the rebounds. But you could look at the rebounds too at 8.5, because the Cavaliers have also given up almost 15 rebounds per game, which kind of puts them right in the middle, kind of an average team when it comes to rebounds allowed. And then they're giving up about 4.25 assists. Really, with Capela, you're hoping that he finds at least 1 assist. If he finds at least 1 assist, it's a good day in the assist category for Clint Capela. So now you kind of got some more information about this Clint Capela pick. Let's move on. Let's take a look and see if it is a plus EV play. And again, we're going to go back to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. We're just going to type in Clint Capela's name. As I mentioned, the rebounds, solid look, 53.3% chance. If you'd rather take the boards, go for it. But I'm going to go PRA because we are getting a little bit of value with this PRA line and his PR line being exactly the same at 18.5. So 52.3% chance that Capela's going to go over 18.5 PRA. I think that looks just fine. Let's move ahead and take a look at some projections on the big fella, Clint Capela. 23.2 points, rebounds, and assists is his first projection, which puts him well over the 18.5 PRA mark by quite a bit. So that's looking good. We're also going to take a look at where he's at on LineStar. LineStar, another one of these projection sites that I love. Taking a look at their projection, they've got him all the way up at 21.6 points, rebounds, and assists. So another pretty hefty over here. 3 PRA different than the line on PrizePicks. And then we'll go back to Betting Pros and we'll check them out too. You just punch in whoever you're looking for, their first or last name, and up comes a projection of 21.9. Let's call it 22 points, rebounds, and assists on a line of 18.5. That's a difference of about 3.5 PRA. So there you go. 3 different projection models, all like Clint Capela to go over. As far as consistency goes, it's there. It's a pretty decent matchup against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And like I mentioned, we're getting that value on Clint Capela, where his PRA line and his PR line are exactly the same. So I'm going to take the PRA for more than 18.5. Again, if you don't trust Clint Capela for whatever reason, maybe you think a Kungwu's going to come off the bench and cannibalize some of Clint Capela's minutes, well then take the less, or just don't take it at all. Do what you want to do. It's your money. Let's move on to the third and final play. It is Jakob Poeltl of the Toronto Raptors. Now there's a little bit of news on the other side of this game. Poeltl will typically be matched up with Nicholas Claxton, but We're not 100% sure if Nicholas Claxton's going to be playing for Brooklyn or not. Now, how much that'll impact whether or not Poeltl hits the over at 13.5 points and assists, or if he hits the under at 13.5 points and assists, I don't know. I don't know how much Nicholas Claxton's presence would impact Jakob Poeltl. But what I do know is that at 13.5 points and assists this season, especially over the last like 12 to 15 games or so, Jakob Poeltl has been an absolute stud. He's appeared in 17 games. He's hit the over in 10 out of 17. That's almost a 60% hit rate. We'll take 59%. And then you can see over the last 10 games, his average actually goes up from 13.6 for the season to 14.9 over his last 10 games. So almost 15 points and assists. And then it gets even higher. The average goes up to 16.2 points and assists over the last 5 games. So Jakob Poeltl doing a really good job of going over 13.5 points and assists. I mean, he's hitting the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of his last 9 games. So that's a pretty darn high hit rate. So things are looking pretty good here for Mr. Poeltl. Now, again, going back to the last 7 games and just kind of taking a look at this matchup against Brooklyn. Brooklyn has given up a healthy 24.5 points per game. That is a top 10 figure. Points per game given up to the center position. They're also giving up a decent amount of assists at about 4.5 per game. Poeltl's not like Domantas Sabonis or Nikola Jokic. He's not going to rack up 7 assists, 10 assists, or anything like that. He's going to get a decent amount of assists, though. But they are giving up 4.5, which again puts them right outside the top 10 most assists per game allowed to the center position over the last 7 games. So I think the matchup looks pretty good based on the numbers, and that's what I do. I go by the numbers here. So let's move ahead and take a look and see if this is a plus EV play. Again, we're going to go back to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. I can't talk about this tool enough as far as it being an absolute must in your arsenal if you're playing on PrizePicks or any of these other DFS pick'em sites. You almost have to have this tool. I'm just going to leave it right there. That's it. I'm not going to beat this to death. I'm just going to tell you guys, you should have this tool in your arsenal. Anyway, Jakob Poeltl, 13.5 points and assists. It is the highest or most optimal way to play a Jakob Poeltl prop right now is to take the over on his points and assists. Almost a 53% chance that he goes over at 13.5. So it's a plus EV play. Matchup's not too shabby. Pretty strong hit rates, especially over the last 5, 10, 15 games. He's really started to pick up the pace, scoring more, assisting more. So all that's looking pretty good here for Jakob Poeltl. But what about the projections? Let's go see if we can find some for you and round out today's video with this third and final pick. Now, the first projections got him at 14.2 points and assists. Again, the line is 13.5. So it is projecting pretty decent here. Let's see if we can pull one up on LineStar. LineStar may not have them up. Oh, they do. They got a projection for Jakob Poeltl at 15 points and assists. Again, the line is 13.5, a 1.5 points and assist difference there. And then we'll check one more projection. And again, this projection is going to be provided by Betting Pros. And then you've got him at 16.7 points and assist on Betting Pros. So what more can you want? 3 different projection models, 3 different sites, all have Poeltl going over 13.5 points and assists against the Brooklyn Nets tonight. So for me, again, this would be a more option, not really something that I'm considering less on. But if you don't trust Jakob Poeltl, if you're waiting on the Nicholas Claxton news and you don't want to jump on this, I don't blame you. Pump the brakes. Wait a little bit. Maybe some news comes out, or maybe it gets bumped up from 13.5 to 14 or 14.5. You just never know with PrizePicks. But those are the 3 picks, guys. Consider joining Dub Club. Like I said, I've put together a special offer for you guys to celebrate yesterday's 4-0 sweep on yesterday's video. You're going to get a discount. You're going to get 3 months of Dub Club for the price of 2, 3 months for $40 instead of 3 months for $60. Check out the pinned comment down below. All right. Appreciate you. Good luck. Thank you for all the support. We're going to keep rocking and doing our thing here on YouTube, and I want you along for the ride. We'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.